Hi guys, welcome back. Today I am drawing in my Pentalic Traveler's Journal, the Midnight Sketchbook. And I did these ballerina slippers with Prismacolor pencils. So if you'd like to see how I draw them and how I change the values, then stick around and I will show that to you. I did do it in time lapse so that you didn't have to sit there and watch me run a pencil back and forth for 15-20 minutes, but I will give you a voiceover so that you know what's going on. And I did explain in some areas what I was doing, but I'm sorry I haven't posted in a little while. I've just had a rough week with my hip. You guys all know that I went to the surgeon. Luckily, I don't need any surgery at this point. I just have some torn tendons and needed a hip injection for bursitis. So other than that, I am still alive. Here I am already drawing the slippers in. I started them a couple days ago and I only lasted a few minutes and had to lay down. So now I'm coming back to finish them today. And so that's why you're only seeing part of it. My foot was off. And even when I finished this, I realized that I wasn't matching the picture. The foot should have been over a little bit further, but it worked out and it's still... You know, if nobody's looking at the photo, they're not going to see what I'm doing. I'm using different values of gray. I started out thinking I had all cool gray, but I had a couple warm gray pencils in my hand. So when I was doing the shin on that one leg, I had to change it. I'm looking at them all here now, trying to find it. They come in different percentages. If you look at those, you can get them in French gray, warm gray, cool gray, and then they'll be like 10%, 20%, 30%. The ones that come in the set that you buy, like the 150 or 172 pencils or whatever it is, you'll get 10, 20, 50, 70, 90 or something like that. So they skip around, and I really need to get some more cool gray pencils. And as you can see there, my white, when I'm using it, is only about 4.5 inches long, so I need to get a new white pencil. I go through whites fast because I use them so much, but this was really fun to do. Oh, and now if you look at the shin, you can see it looks brown on the front of the shin. That is not what I wanted to happen, so I'm going to be changing that later. Luckily, I had plenty of tooth left in the paper and was able to go over it a little bit. Now on the slippers here, you'll see that I didn't just go across and make those ribbons white because there was light shining on them in certain spots, and I saved my bright white just for those spots, and then I was using 10 and 20 and sometimes 30% grays to change the colors on those ribbons as the foot changes shape or something comes over the top of it or it has a little bit of a wrinkle. I changed all that, but you'll see a pattern here how my white comes down the front on two sides. Doing here on these ballet slippers is I've been using different values of gray on the gray scale in order to complete this. I'm going to have to change the leg because I believe it's too warm. I need to be using cooler grays, but so I'm going to have to go over this again. Luckily, it's an opaque thing, and I've got enough tooth of the paper here left that I can do that. But this is the photo I've been using. It is just these ballet slippers. And as you can see, actually, let me brighten it up for you. So as you can see here, by looking at this, you can see different values of gray that I'm putting in on these ribbons. You can see where the white is shining bright here, 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 on the outer portions where her foot is sticking out more. And then these values get darker. And then this one up here is very dark, down here very dark, over here under the wrinkle very dark, but then white on top. And the same with all of these ribbons. And then it also happens with the foot. If you look at the foot here, you can see wrinkles in the shoe or the slipper, and so I'll be adding those in with darker values. I could use it like this color for the wrinkles, and then lighten it up with lighter gray and then white. There'll be white going all the way down here, but the rest of this is all going to be gray and then really dark over here. So that's what I've been doing. But I started this a couple days ago, and I just haven't been feeling well, and I was doing it on my couch, and then I thought, you know what, maybe I'll put it on camera, and if you guys want to watch it, you can watch it. But I don't know if I have the right gray for the leg. I really gotta look and see, because I have warm grays and cool grays. These are cool grays. Maybe I can switch to these. This is slate gray though. I don't have, this is just a slate gray, no percentage. This one is 70% cool gray. I can use that one. The slate gray I don't think is going to fit. And then these are warm grays. Espresso, that's a brown. So, just going to have to deal with it. This is a warm gray, 90%. It looks really deep. I might need that though for the bottom of the foot. So, I will continue on. Now going over this shin again with that cool gray made a huge difference in blending that in. As you can see, it doesn't look brown anymore. So I'm glad I did that. And eventually I'm going to go over it with one of the base colors over all of it, so it'll blend together. With the darker colors, I do that to kind of tone some areas down because I don't have all the percents of gray that I need. So I just blend them together. If you're wondering about the pencil sharpener that I'm using, it's called the Rapesco 64, and I will post a link to it in the description box below. Look this over real good and check my values, see what I need to change, and then I'm going to go in and I'm going to start blending and see if I can blend some of this color together a little better. And if not, I may try some alcohol in a brush to see if I can blend it that way, but this is only 74-pound paper, so we'll see. Okay, so here are my finished ballet slippers. That was a little more challenging. I see that I need to get a few more grays because I have a jump in my grays. I have warm grays, cool grays, French grays, and some of them change percentages, and then I've got a gap in the middle, so I need to get some different percentages, but I can go over to Michael's and just pick up a couple pencils next time I go out, which hasn't been in a while, so except to go to the doctor. But oh, my update on my hip. Right now they say no surgery is necessary. They said that I have some torn tendons and bursitis in my hip, and I had a cortisone injection, so thankfully I don't have to have surgery. But they did say that since I'm on steroids for my adrenal insufficiency, which was actually caused by steroids, isn't that an oxymoron? That I'm at a high risk for something called avascular necrosis, and that's where your bone starves and it just dies off, and as it dies it just crumbles to powder, and that is not a good thing. They're going to watch me, but the only way they can see that is on an MRI, especially in the early stages. So if my hip doesn't clear up, and both hips hurt, but hopefully it's just this bursitis, and if not, if it doesn't clear up, then I got to go back and they'll do more testing, I guess. So anyway, that's it, and this is my final ballet slipper, and here's the photo again, so you can see all the shadowing that I was doing here, along here, the darkened area on the slipper here, which I had to put in. This is really good practice for value sketching. Doing black and white sketches and just taking this down. You put your initial shape on the paper. You can even, if you can't draw it, then just trace it, you know. And then take your pencils in different shades. You want to keep all warm gray or all cool gray. I went with cool. I prefer cool grays. They look less brown to me. But then just practice. Practice your values. You see this and you say, oh, that's a very dark gray. So I went with a 70% gray. And then just above it, I put a little lighter gray, and then the white in between the next wrinkle. And over here, the little fold in the ribbon, there, I ended up having to put a white line down on the top, and then underneath it I put gray, and then a lighter gray. And that's all you have to do, and you can get the wrinkled look. My white got a little thick here, but that's all right. And the same thing with here. I had a darkened area and then bright white on either side. So that's how I did that. Actually, the black is a little bit difficult to cover sometimes, especially with these grays, but it really was a lot of fun to try, and it didn't take very long at all. I mean, it just maybe half hour. So now I'm gonna go back and lay down with my heating pad. So you guys all have a great day, and I will talk to you soon. I'm sorry I haven't been posting much. I do have some videos that I can post. I just got to get them edited, and I haven't been feeling well. So anyhow, be courageous and paint with wild abandon, or draw with wild abandon, and be kind to each other. Use those sketchbooks. Don't leave them clean. Put something on them. Get it on there and then just go for it. Talk to you soon. Bye.